Each year, we celebrate Shakespeare's birthday, and I particularly enjoy the memes and the illustrations where Shakespeare has on the pointy hat and the birthday cake with the candles on it, because a hat, candles, and cake are all birthday traditions that I enjoy, and I like assigning them to Shakespeare on his birthday. But since we just celebrated Shakespeare's birthday a few days ago, it got me thinking, how would Shakespeare have celebrated his birthday during his lifetime? Did he eat cake? Let's find out right now on That Shakespeare Life. Hello and welcome back to That Shakespeare Life. I'm Cassidy Cash, and this is the place where we dive into the details about what it was like to live, eat, work, play, and do all kinds of things from the life of William Shakespeare. That's 1564 to 1616. That's Shakespeare's lifetime. Now, we often tie this history back to Shakespeare's plays because Shakespeare was really good at pinpointing cultural events that were happening right at the moment he was writing his plays and putting that into the dialogue of his characters. So there's a lot you can learn about the 16th and 17th century from his textual references. If you enjoy walking around 16th and 17th century England to explore life the way Shakespeare would have lived it, then this is the channel for you. Today, we are looking at birthdays for 16th and 17th century England. Now, as far as birthday origins go, we give credit to the first birthdays to the Egyptians, and the Greeks take credit for adding in the candles, and the Romans would celebrate just men's birthdays by making a cake, and women didn't actually celebrate their birthdays until about the 12th century when women were celebrated too. Now, the general idea of gathering around somebody for their birthday to wish them well and give them presents, and yes, make special treats for them, was established by the Romans as a way to protect that person from evil spirits. It was believed that on major days, like the anniversary of your birth, evil spirits had better access to you on that day. So you needed some special protection. And they would throw a party with cake and good wishes thrown your way to keep you safe from evil. Generally sounds like a solid plan to me. But fast forward to the Middle Ages. Now, the Middle Ages means after the Roman Empire and before the Renaissance, and nobody's assigned specific dates to this time frame that I can find. So if you want to tell me what the dates are, I'll let you know. But it ends roughly around the 1500s. And during that giant section of time, the nobility did begin to acknowledge their birthdays. So they would have a birthday celebration for the nobles, but the peasants generally would have celebrations around their saint day. It's also called their name day. And it was either the saint that was associated with the day you were born or the saint you were named after. Now, this celebration was specifically a Catholic tradition, and I had trouble finding in time for this episode details on whether or not the Protestants continued this tradition after the Reformation, which would be important for our investigation into Shakespeare's lifetime, because England was staunchly Protestant under Elizabeth I. If you'll remember, it was her father, Henry VIII, who did away with the Catholic Church, established the Church of England, and said, England is now Protestant. There was a huge shift away from things that were Catholic, and it was important to look specifically not Catholic. So I would be surprised if Protestant England acknowledged this very specifically Catholic way of celebrating things, but I wasn't able to find details on that part. I was able to find that traditional birthday celebrations for those not in the nobility was not a common thing in England until after Shakespeare's death in 1616. It was in about the 1700s when non-nobles started celebrating their birthdays at all. And the whole idea of gathering your friends together for a party or turning your birthday celebration into a social gathering actually didn't come into popularity until about the 18th century. So Shakespeare probably would not have celebrated his birthday. I think he probably wouldn't have celebrated it at all. And that's for a variety of reasons, but I think that because he probably would have had a hard time actually knowing the date of his birth for the same reasons we today have trouble knowing the date of his birth. Birth certificates weren't issued in Shakespeare's lifetime. Instead, you would get a record of your baptism, which took place usually 3 days, but it could have been up to a week after the day of the birth. So he would have known approximately his birthday, but it wasn't a major day the way that we think of it today. And so he might have marked the day of his baptism with some kind of special treat, or somebody would have said, good on you, Shakespeare, for another turn around the sun, but it seems unlikely that he would have had a big party, and there definitely would have been any pointy hats. So sorry, Shakespeare. If you would like to know more about Shakespeare's day of birth and how we found out or assigned to him April 23rd as his birthday, you can check out this video. I go through 5 facts about April 23rd, Shakespeare's assigned birth date, and I talk with you more in that video about how we don't know Shakespeare's real day of birth and why he may not have known about it either. Watch that video right now at the links on the screen, or check out this playlist about Shakespeare history tidbits to check out some more fun facts from 16th and 17th century England, the way Shakespeare would have lived it. That's it for this time. I'm Cassidy Cash. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.